servant. Thank you. He can read. Okay, thank you. Yeah, they're the only ones that practice servant leadership. JetBlue used to, and then they ousted their CEO. Yep. And they stopped doing it, and now how are they? They're looking into bankruptcy. They're blue, yeah. Okay, space is not empty. Has anybody heard of field theory? Any of you going into field theory? Quantum physics? Okay, we'll do a little example in a bit here. Field theory says that there's these fields that affect how we are and how we behave. For example, when you go to a restaurant, tell me if this is true or not. You go into a restaurant, you don't have to look at the menu, you don't have to really look around too much, but you can feel whether or not they do or don't have good service and or food. You can feel it. No one can explain it, you can't see it, but they understand why. And it's the same thing in your work environment. If you have an environment that is just oozing with this creative juices, that starts happening when people are brought into it. Same thing with negative, but we won't talk about that. We'll talk about the positive. Now, let's just do a little exercise. Everyone stand up, please. This way, at the end, I can say that you were all lifted up. Anyway, take a step to your right. Go back. See, and you were all moved, too. Anyway, okay. Touch the person next to you, and you were all touched. See, if nothing else, you can say that in this presentation. All right. Now, I want everybody to stand with your feet shoulder width apart. Be comfortable. Give yourself room. I don't want any lawsuits from this little exercise. Now, that's close, but not like that. Now, watch me carefully. What I'm going to ask you to do is take your finger like this. Don't do it quite yet. And I'm just going to ask you to turn. It doesn't matter which way you turn. Just turn. Keep your feet on the ground and just pivot at your waist and go as far as you are comfortably able to go. No stretched ligaments. No, none of that, please. Just do that right now. Everyone just point, turn, make a note of where you went. Okay, come back. Okay, hands down, close your eyes. This is the fun part. You do need to close your eyes. I think I know your name. Yeah. Okay. Close your eyes. Don't put your hands up. I just want you to visualize this whole thing. Pretend that you are putting your hands up. Picture yourself doing that. Picture yourself turning again, just like you did before. You're going, Bruce, put your hand down. You're going to, thanks. You're going to go ahead and turn. You're going past where you went before. You're turning completely around. You're not just pointing at the back of the room. You're now completely turned around. Not once, twice. You're just like an owl. You can keep going around as many times as you want. Okay, open your eyes. Let's do it again. Point. Everybody turn. Anybody not go further than they did before? Okay, here's the card of that therapist. No, seriously. Okay, sit down. Thank you. What did I do? Why did I do this? It's a visualization exercise. I do this with basketball teams. We did this with a junior high basketball team where half of them couldn't even touch the net. Some of them could come close to the rim. We got everyone jumping 3 inches higher after 1 hour. And here's the cool thing. 3 weeks later, not having to do the exercise again, they were still jumping 3 inches higher.
Can I tell a story?
Please do.
Okay.
I'm just no. Go ahead.
Oh,
go ahead.
One time before,
do you want a mic?
Before I left to Brazil, I was just shooting around, shooting free throws or whatever, and I was making about 60% of my shots. Okay, and so I'll just stand up.
Oh.
And so I decided to use the visualization, which Bruce always talked about in class when I took his class a couple years ago. And so every time before I would shoot a free throw, I would just picture in my mind, like from that perspective, like I was watching another person and I was watching myself from the back, like with my form, perfect form, and then the ball going in, like touching the net, like touching no rim, nothing, just like going straight in, swish. And so I decided to shoot the free throws again, and I made 10 in a row. Swish, 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 swish. 10 in a row. So it was cool.
Yep.
Yeah, swish, swish, swish. Thank you.
And this isn't something that just I do or Bruce does. This is also done by NASA, and it's done by Olympic athletes in the Olympic Games, so that they can get that just that much quicker. Now, going forward, everybody says servant leadership. Well, you've got to be the follower first. That's what we talked about. So here's how you be an effective follower. Be proactive. Gather the facts. You've got to see things as they really are. Not how people are telling you they are, but how they really are. And you've got to seek wise counsel. Don't think that you have to do it all by yourself. And play by the rules. Whatever institution you're in, whatever class you're in, you do need to play by the rules of the class. The business that you're in, things like that. Play by those rules. And persuade by speaking the language of the organization. I'm in IT. I don't speak techese very much. I don't speak acronyms. I can speak it, I understand it, but the reason is I'm dealing a lot with people who speak this language called English. And they're much more responsive when I speak to them without all those acronyms about what they do and don't want. So speak to them in the language of the organization. Now, what that means is some organizations have little acronyms. It's best to learn those so that you are making sure that you understand that what you're saying is what they are understanding. Now, prepare your courage to go over heads when absolutely necessary. And then take collective action. What do I mean by that? You need to persuade people to join you with your idea and your vision. Or be prepared to stand alone. People always ask, so how do you be a leader and a follower? How's that possible? Well, when you turn the pyramid, and when I say the pyramid, you know, the hierarchical order of a business or anything, you've got the CEO and then this. When you turn that pyramid upside down, who's at the top of the organization? Yeah, the customer contact people. Now, here's the other question. Who's really at the top of the organization? Customers. Very good, the customers. So this one change, although it seems minor, it makes a major difference. And the difference is between who is responsible and who is responsive. Now, in the old way of doing things, then the boss is always responsible and the staff is supposed to respond to the boss, right? But when you turn this upside down, then the roles get reversed. Now, the people become responsible, and the job of management is to be responsive to those people. My job is not to be the quarterback. My job is not to be the running back. It's not to be the wide receiver. My job as the senior director is to be the offensive lineman. I am going to pancake any obstacle that gets in their way. That's my job. Because they're the ones that know what needs to be done, and we're going to make sure that we respond to that. And remember that the word responsible means able to respond. These are the 10 main characteristics of servant leadership. You've got to listen. And again, listen with your body. Don't just hear what they're saying, listen. And as you listen, you have to create empathy and understand what it is that they're trying to tell you, what it is that they're trying to say, where are they coming from. Healing, what does healing have to do with business? The word heal means to make whole. If things are missing, if there's a part of somebody's life that's not quite there. Yeah, Bruce.
Serve a need.
What's that?
To serve a need, close a gap.
Exactly. Fill that hole. Make it whole. You've got to have awareness. And this is where I said you've got to know what's really happening. Be aware. Use persuasion. Most people just give orders, but always use the persuasion. And this doesn't mean that you just allow them to do what they want to do.